today.
No, you know, ne. I was thinking the other day, because when I get unbedded, so I'm thinking, okay, Mari, ngwana hangi ka more fafa.
2 minutes.
But then I figured this whole cultural clash thing and modernization of bophelo and everything. Ngwana ka jego se tsa khona go bolela gore nna ga ke batla go tlhatsa dikotlele ya tsamaya ke lo go tshwarisa because wena wa abuse. Good people, there is this stretch between what we were taught and what we are teaching our children today.
That's true.
It's depressing, Tato.
No, I think we should break it down a bit more, man. Now my biggest frustration is that
hey!
Not to a certain extent. And our parents did not do that. I mean, just the way punishment between how white people do their punishment and how black people do their punishment.
You know? Anyway.
Not what get never food.
Never
no one ever pop spoon. It's something you get to teach. My remote door was being at teacher. Pop spoon.
Pop spoon.
We don't want you get a pop spoon.
The late that the money nothing at 2 by it's a mali urukuya.
Okay.
It's a mali urukuya to bele. I fell Julia's got nothing on the and we
were okay with it, honestly.
And we were okay because there was a level of discipline.
Yeah.
You know?
Look who got that.
Hey, you knew not to answer back.
No, you had to. You know, guys, like the corporal punishment, I think, obviously, when you want to speak against something, you can paint a different picture. So they painted this picture, all the bad things about corporal punishment to get the will of the people and the votes of the people.
Yeah.
No, corporal punishment. Some of these things were happening even when we were at school. It's not like teacher and no, the face graphic is just not saying that it was bad, you know, but there was also a lot of good that came with it.
Yeah.
Because movie to hold a lot of and I'm not
you're not supposed to
hey,
have you seen how they dress? Let's dress code. Like you were taught, okay, no, your hair neatly tied back, regardless of how you tie it, over the collar, you know, your skirt 4 fingers above the knee. Banyana babara di rough dance via school. Babara cash content. Puro biesa. Banyana babara di keta di rough dance. Okra hempe kopetu kufika for di maha cleavage fa. E kopelo all the way up. The goods inside. Like I don't understand. Are we there to teach our children or to flirt with our children? What is going on?
That's the thing, man. When we talk about culture clashes, you think about us now. We grew up in a different way. We're teaching our kids totally different things. So in a way, we already lost as well. Hey. So you let shit that you let things that you normally wouldn't let go. Like you let them go. Like you, in your time, you wouldn't have like. But now, because we don't have an identity, if we can say that, we find an identity in all the wrong things. Even our kids is the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if your parents have lost their identity, how will the kids find it? You know what I mean? Like the traditions is still thing, and we're moving on with whatever is convenient and current, and in this lifestyle of living on
Imagine.
And when we put things that are very important, that made us who we are, that actually identify us in the world, we put them to the side. So that's how everything just clashes, because the parents don't have identity, the kids don't have identity.
They forgot.
So we choose whatever is given, which is all the wrong things.
Yeah.
It's given in volumes. In your music, your videos, everyday life.
While you've been speaking.
Yeah.
Back then, in my younger days, I feel so old.
We are old.
In my younger days. In my times. Okay, back then in my younger days, nigi binasezo, right? No, nigi lukulenyana, nigi bo. And it was the thing. It was the thing. Today, Ramana wa go moraretso mo binasezo.
I gotta say.
Tshega ke bona go lebella on some
Culture for what?
Culture
Culture for what?
kore o
What random
go lebellela fa for di madi brain ngwana your own child. O moraretso mo binasezo because nna ne le dilo tsene le gore ne le re tlosa mo strateng.
Yeah.
Mariano ka gore skete se le sa rough dance se tsene mo fashioneng. Cash content.
But we must also admit that there was a lot of activities. I've always said the reason why our teens just jump from being a teen to sex life. Let me put it straightforward. They just move from being kids,
from being a child,
jump straight into being adults. You know, because when we grew up, there was a lifestyle for a child.
For a child.
Like, you know, Dragon Ball Z, you
had no time to
No, it was by choice when one did that, and it was actually looked down upon. Because never telling me about it. Wait, beauty contest.
Was a low contest, was a low time ball, was a low time sport. Somehow you karate.
Karate. We even had karate.
At all.
I mean,
like, I'm talking about activities that keep kids and discipline as well, teach them a way of life. They're able to see how other people live because they move around, they compete with. You remember we used to have the calabash?
Yeah. But do you know where the problem comes in? Do you know where the problem comes in? It comes in with the discipline that we have as parents. Because the minute one have azamaya ayakosito, eba khatella memo akosito, ngosito khabana na papa. Eba go papa to botsa na kwa eno go tlhore na tsaya sitso ba nshapi. Mama go apara stofi wa apara skipa we lo fotela mme wa go stoko. How dare you? O phetse ngwana na ga di phetse ngwana. And you're like, discipline. Discipline. That's what it's supposed to be like.
You are a guardian.
Same applies to the schools.
Every day.
Like, it is hectic. Yeah, but I think maybe the problem is, number one, we mentioned for a identity. I think we need to go back. And start, because I was chatting to a friend of mine, I think the next coming years, God forbid, when you are the eldest in the family.
Hey, you are the
elder now. We understand none of that because we are so
we European, know none of it.
You know, and those things are actually very important.
Which is mixed up because the Europeans practice their culture.
And we practice their culture
and
too.
We practice their culture now. Like my mom used to say it's the same as Hojanala. Yeah, no, when you go there and all of a sudden you're Mrs.
Now like a lifestyle. We gave them all, you know. So, I mean, even the culture clashes between our cultures. I mean, we have what, 8?
8.
Not 8, like maybe is it? We have provinces,
in the south,
but they all speak a different language.
Yeah,
the provinces are 9.
Or something else. The languages.
The languages are 11. 12. I'm sorry if I swore at anyone. I don't know what this means.
Make it back Make it back like African, indigenous people, like we have beef with each other. I mean, based on whatever has been done by apartheid, but then we also continued it. That's why we never look at each other as equals. If we're from different cultures, especially. Let's say you are Zulu, KZN deep. I'm Motswana, Kurumani deep. Whenever we meet, we clash. Because we do things differently. You know?
It's with the whole education situation. How you were taught.
Yes.
I was about to jump in. I was about to jump in on that actually because the one thing that the apartheid government did right was educate people how to hate each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You understand? Even because they didn't want us together and defeat them, they made sure that they divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And that's why they had Bantu stands for a Venda land, Zulu land,
Bechuana
land. And they made sure that they even 3 people were not allowed to gather together. Don't think they ended at separating us from the different cultures that we come from. Even when we were just Amazulu or just Amazulu,
we had our own differences as well.
No, they still made sure there's laws. Let's say not 10 people must not gather. Hey! It's against the law. 10 people can gather. You know, so I think yes, we can cry about how what apartheid did to us, but what are we doing about it psychologically? You understand? We need to. I mean, even now we're still educating white people that racism is not alright. And they're still defending it. You know, and it's amazing how people can be so oblivious. So we need to forget about other people and focus on us because we are the ones who have a problem. You know, so we need to dip into the education of what is it. We identify first. Say what is a black man? What is a black woman? What is a black family? And what is their responsibility in the society? Why must you have a family?
What role
because in today's world, our kids have been educated that you get graduates. They are both graduates.
And they want nothing to do with children.
And they'll tell you, no, we can't afford a child right now. So the standard has been set so high that people can't even do things, even when they have the ability to. They'd rather say, instead of Mogwase, let's move to town, much more, spend that money and say, no, we don't have that money, you know. But not anymore. You know, so different. So we're losing the and we're gaining this European Eurocentric lifestyle that has no benefits for us.
And it's not rooted.
On that note, this Eurocentric lifestyle. What's your take on homeschooling? Homeschooling for the benefit of, say, financial literacy for the youth. Because I strongly believe that because we live in a world so propelled by chelete, that our children should be financially literate. Because if they're not financially literate, and learning at a later stage is also another thing. The value of a rand.
But that's the problem with our education system. Our education system does not teach us to think how to make
outside the
box.
They
teach you to
be an end.
Know how to work. You know, the system is not trying to entertain you being smart. No, the ones who are billionaires just made it out of the system. Millionaires made it out of the system. They thought differently. And a friend of mine actually once said something so profound. He said, the only people who have the real money are the business owners because they can afford to pay you, the employee. Yet you are the one, they've just put together a system.
You are the one.
I mean, look at how many people feel like, Uber, I left my job, now I'm doing Uber, I work on my own time, and no one is my boss. But at the end of the day, there's a company called Uber that put a community together and is taxing them for all the money that they make. And the liability is yours. You must bring the asset. If you want Uber Black, you must go buy that Mercedes. In your name.
In your name. Get insurance.
That's your tag. Get your own
insurance.
If you can't drive it, get your own driver. That's on you.
I don't know if it's
But just know, I'm taking a 20% cut of everything.
Yeah.
Everything that you make.
Yeah.
My job is to make sure that this app runs.
It's a massive.
So sometimes you get liberation, which is not really liberation.
Yes.
Because you just got into a bigger box.
Yeah.
And so you need to get out of the box. Now you get out of the box and then you get into a bigger box.
When our Russian doll, also from the small one into a bigger one.
So our education system will never do that for us. I think it's about time we pickpocketed. I mean, education is online nowadays.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Master class, what certain things, you understand? But you won't get it in our schools.
You won't.
You
won't. Do you know that the schools that we send our children to and we've went to they do not teach you anything about the real world and life. Absolutely nothing.
True.
In the real world, Batong, you will not solve for X, not even. You don't solve for it. You don't squat and stand for physical education unless only soccer coach. But that's about it.
True.
So what I don't understand is, Liga Jeku, you want us to progress as human beings, but you are still teaching me what you taught Papa in 1942.
So what's the value of education now?
What is the value that it is adding to us? That
is the education in that box. You remember we used to even be in the Bantu education box?
Yes.
They were like, this is too much for these ones.
They don't understand it.
How to count cows
and
when they are there by the felt. They must get basic education.
Yeah.
So even this is basic education. Because at the end of the day, they just want you to be part of the system. But like it was a shame it was a shame. It was a shame. Other kids look down on you.
And they do a good job.
But here's the thing. N6. They have a trade.
They can go work.
You just have the certificate that says you finished.
What 30% passing?
Go to the next level.
What's 30% passing? Do you know that in our parents' days, 30% was considered a fail?
It was a fail.
Today it's considered an achievement.
Yeah.
Guys, but 50% is standard. Like who came up with? And you know some of the reasons why they do this. You know why? Because they say a lot of kids fail. So if they fail,
it means they're not learning.
Let them repeat.
It means they're not learning. You cannot condone. That is why we're not going to after Pulai. Because the engineers are not engineers.
I can do this.
The engineers are not engineers. That's why we're not the pothole.
And then, like, because those things happen,
they cut corners because their education system cut corners.
Even the justice system, because nobody's being brought to justice for these things. They've been happening for years. Like I don't like all these projects that I have done. Nobody's in jail. Nobody, not even one guy. I never had one guy. Newspaper.
Where is he?
He's still carrying the money. He can go to court from here and here, but then still living that life.
He's not considered a flight risk.
No jail. Why is there no jail with this BE Chinese?
And they proved.
Like, why is there no jail?
For me, the worst is in government.
Yeah.
Like, when you fuck up in one job, they just deploy you somewhere else. No, but this guy, he's stole money. You're taking him out here because of the scandals. Now you're taking him somewhere. Like, blatantly so in front of our eyes. They don't care. They don't care. This is trailer deployment. Remember? The Minister of Finance for 3 days.
Hey!
Over the weekend.
The President for 2 weeks.
If you are away on holiday.
I got this bad night.
If you were away on holiday, you missed it.
No, man, I thought I was no, we go.
Thank you for your service. It's like that Salama situation, President for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And he never said jail.
No.
We're gonna get back to Trump for 2 weeks ago.
I get Basotho. But we were under the Southern Sotho, so Basotho. President Yamosoto. 2 weeks. Alitosa. Yamakosa. Sorry.
Woo!
It's Harele Makosa. Sorry,
Cultural pleasures.
Tring. But then the Kosas are president forever.
Yes.
I'm a Kosa rulership.
No, Lemazulu.
These people are just. They're like the white mafia for the black people.
Yeah, the power
the
belongs
white
to
mafia
them.
for the black people, they really are.
Even Cyril's not Zulu, but why is that already? Fishing half. Like, I was just like, oh, fishing half. I'm like, oh, I wasn't even ready for that.
Yeah, but
you know what I think we need in South Africa? We need body cams.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but what is that kind of body cam?
Awaiting trial.
Dangerous.
No, quite something.
Oh, yeah,
you are more in trouble.
No, but I mean,
it must be. Why do you states because those
no,
just killing black people.
Yeah, but you see, that was for our protection. Now we just need to hone ourselves. For South Africa, why do you deserve internet? But we are reckless in South Africa. We are reckless. Even the people in power. No, it's not just us little people, it's everybody. We are reckless. So body
remember, so many people were getting arrested for public drinking. There was a time they decriminalized it.
Yeah.
They were like, guys, it's fine.
You
know you're gonna do it anyway. You're gonna walk around with booze.
We'll take you in, pay your fine, get out. Like you're not even a trial.
I guess, if they'll be doing a job, and this job is for the benefit of the country, as much as there won't be these other sidelines that we probably survive with, cool drink money, but it will clean our justice system, like it'll clean it, like people will be serious about the job, like people won't be cops and still doing some dirty shit, and it's okay. We shake down this guy every week, it's okay. We killed the guy. We don't even know he's armed or not.
Yeah, no.
We killed that nigga.
We felt he was reaching in his back pocket.
That Marikana shit. That Marikana thing like that happened.
Yeah, the massacre.
With body cams. Imagine how that could have looked. Like justice would have been served, but now it just got swept under the carpet.
Yes. They had a whole thing with theater. They even created the musical for awareness.
Yeah, I was
nobody gave a shit.
For
Marigana, yes.
Marigana has a musical.
I saw
that ran for a good few months.
Who's this? EFF, Julius.
Yes.
Julius is the one who actually made that an EFF agenda.
Yeah.
Because as much as it was a bad thing, but he needed something on Ramaphosa. Like, and he's like, Marikana. And yes, those people needed someone to fight for them.
Yeah.
And he did a great job for them.
He did.
But he also did a great job for himself.
Because at the end of the day,
number one.
At the end of the day, the man at the bottom also gained.
Yeah.
Which was a good thing. But I think for serious crimes, man,
it's needed. The country will be clean.
Luna, I can look at the while we are cleaning the country with our body case.
That's what's up.
So, I can love to a beginning of a
Jiggy,
we will do that. had to pay them.
Oh, but I did bank charge.
Hey.
This is a bank man because banks pay charges.
So you are having?
Yeah, because my bank charges me for swiping.
Yeah, bro.
And their bank charges them for the transaction happening. Yeah. And then they make me pay for whatever they are getting charged. Yeah. Like, why is there an extra charge when my bank said I must swipe my card? Why am I now paying for other people's bank? It's I'm not going to name names, but there are places, for places, for like it's a growing trend.
You don't pay there. You just pay for your drinks.
That's it.
You don't pay there. There's this other place, I go to Kalina, and if I'm was, there is a 200
No. There is a 5 rand on top of.
So, but expect get 12 rand. 24, 48 rand.
So which one is worse? Yeah, 10 rand or 2 rand?
No, man. All of this.
No, you're not
Kibuhodu, and if you know that, like
no,
why have we? Why is the whole community not complaining about it?
Because the whole community.
Like, how did they get us?
Guys, we've been saying the reason why we have this platform is because we complain in small pockets and our information never actually gets anywhere. So here's where the government will be very interested. Yeah. There's a lot of money that, let's say for example, like cashback.
Yeah.
Cashback, 200, 220.
So you pay 1 rand for every 10 rand.
Yes.
Yes.
So the government is not aware that there's money that is slipping out of their hands that is untaxed. Because according to them, we're now withdrawing 220. Yeah. And already you paid your 220 fees. Go banking. Go banking. Go charge to swipe. Go withdraw. On top of that, tax so for me it's like from Zanzibar to so much that somebody just jumped into the pool, guys, like they said. So back to that fact, the government needs to take this seriously because there's billions of rands that we're losing.
Falling out of the country.
Number one, what I was suggesting is none of these guys have tills. So how do we claim our tax back from them? We don't know how they are making, and they've got the biggest industry in our economy. So you see, Trump is one person I like when it comes to him protecting his citizens. So our government needs to say, sharp with these people, they've taken over most of this industry. Now we need to make sure that they pay for doing business in this country. Number one, their point of sale machines must be registered and from the state. Kosas and everything. We must have a live system of what they do. And we must have agents. If we got say na go shop go crore extra na chipis o sa itila azish the fine that you are going to pay, it doesn't matter who since ka bokai number 10 block 20 block like chelte to number to line. We know corruption thing, there's still going to be those agents by low collector, but it will minimize. We'll make sure out of the 100%, at least 20% you squeeze out of them. And if we have measures already, then the talk on improve.
Even like the fraudulent stock that they sell to us, we can also minimize that shit. Because I mean, if it's registered with the SASSA and whatnot, it needs to correlate, with an actual shop. instead of us just buying things we don't even know.
Yeah. Let the Hawks investigate.
Let them be busy.
Yeah.
Let the Hawks. For us, then by the Hawks,
they are there, guys.
They investigated and they found things.
Honestly, they didn't go for the dirty crime. They're just like, I'll start things simple. How's about SASSA? Like, really quiet.
So proud.
No violence.
Shout out to the Hawks.
Shout out to the Hawks. You're doing a good job. Thank you for helping Easy. I think you have the article.
No, I've got the article. So they understand what we're talking about here. So this is SASSA official arrested for corruption in Mogwase. Right here. Yeah, like when you were visiting they're not busy. Okay, so a 42-year-old suspect was arrested by the Rustenburg-based Hawks Serious Corruption Investigation Team in Mogwase on Thursday, the 6th of March 2025, for alleged corruption involving a South African Social Security Agency, SASSA in short, pension grant application. The arrest follows an incident in December 2024 when a 63-year-old pensioner applied for an old age grant at SASSA offices in Mogwase. It is alleged that the grant administrator who assisted him, later identified as Buipelo Eugenia Ramafuk. I mean, I haven't seen Eugenia in a long time. It's been a while.
The Hawks will bring new things.
Some names you haven't seen in a long time. And then demanded a bribe of 3,000 before the amount at the time. The victim was allegedly instructed to settle the payment upon receiving his first pension payout in February. When? According to the reports, the victim's first pension payout was deposited into his bank account in February 2025. The suspect then demanded the money, prompted the pensioner to send his daughter to withdraw and pay 2,000. However, the suspect allegedly became agitated when the full amount was not settled, leading to further arrangements to pay the outstanding balance in early of March 2025. The matter was brought to the attention of the Hawks, police based in Rustenburg. Let me finish up, guys. Who swiftly launched a preliminary investigation to the suspect arrest shortly after receiving the money from the victim. You know, imagine like a pensioner. Come on, dog. Like,
do you know, Ne? I was going through when I received this article. I was going through the WhatsApps that were on my phone. Apparently, this girl is not a nice person. So this lady is not a nice person. She's not a nice person at all. At some point, somebody was so angry and it serves her right.
So they know.
It serves her. No, I no, guys. Like what's in your no, when I say 1,500, that is half of what she demanded from her victims. Half. Is it even fair, guys? And that time you start to think, okay, on that the mogolo o tsamailing a start tenegile bana ba ge ba le gatfall ke khanye ya gore motho wa go SASSA o batla chelete before a fa papa grant ya gagwe. How many other grandpas and grandmas were extorted by this lady?
I think the first step of justice is, can everybody who gave this lady money please come forward?
Let's hear the story.
As much as agreed justice. How long has she been doing this?
That's what I'm saying. Or how many other grandmas and grandpas were extorted by this lady? For her. In our own backyard, these things they happen.
Something else is going on up in this motherfucker.
I owe someone an apology.
Okay. Please.
Mfanantuli. You remember Mfanantuli? We did footage. Mfanantuli, we're gonna have him on the show.
Yeah.
We'll reach out to him. We actually had such an awesome interview with him.
Yeah.
But some technical difficulties happened. But we'll reach out to him. But we're reaching out now. Mfanantuli, we'll reach out. Because he said some profound things on that interview. And it would have been lovely for people to have heard that, you know. It's just because of our technical difficulties. But I think it was a blessing in disguise. Because now we want to have him on the show.
I mean, we can have him for long enough.
For those of you who are saying Mfanantuli, fact check again, man. He's always just taking out nice videos. I celebrate that whole pillow. Chicken scrafting is yeah, but we're definitely gonna have him. And we'd like to send a shout out to Rajay Kiko for Rantsho Guest House for having us today. I mean, the show is growing and they're welcoming it so well, man. And thank you for the support from everyone as well. We've been bumping into people in the streets and they're saying we're loving what you're doing. We've been telling them, guys, please stop viewing the videos only. Subscribe,
like, share, comment, follow us.
Engage with us so that we can only deliver what you need, guys. Like, talk to us so that we can deliver what you guys want. Communicate with us, guys. Interact with us. We are a show here for people to come through. If there's something they want to talk about that affects us, come on, write to us, man. Let's talk.
We are your voice. We are here for you, with you. Togetherness.
If we're coming for you.
And no, Sizokutola.
And I learned how
we are No, really, I think it would be a good initiative.
I was just
of the victims.
No, they'll reach out, but guys, just like every week, we'd like to thank you. We love you, our viewers. Please don't forget to interact with us. We'll see you again next week. Shout out to Mogwase Unfiltered.
Shout out to Mogwase Unfiltered.
We are.
Lekai, Bazalwani, Ragamama Shigi Mama Baba, Sunday.
Fire!
It's Mogwase Unfiltered once again. Language another way. It's a Mali. Quadi.
Mr. Easy.
Yeah, and
for Rantsho.
Rantsho Guest House, guys.
For Rantsho Guest House, it is lovely. Our guests are having a fabulous time in the swimming pool. But to make it happy.
Yeah, this is an establishment. Yeah, like it's homegrown. Check it out on our socials, on their socials as well.
Yeah.
Rantsho Guest House, man. You'll see it outside, man. You'll see the place. So you can get familiar with it. Know that we have our own gems right here in our backyards, guys.
It's beautiful. It's family
friendly. Also going for that Sun City. Come on.
You know, I think this, banally day visits. You can come visit for the day. You don't have to sleep at the guest house.
Yeah,
you can come visit, have a bride, chill by the pool, eat tapolose, you know. It's a good place.
And if you're thinking maybe for a weekend, whether go Kimberley, go Kaikai, Rustenburg, Northwest, you can come here. There's a lot of activities to do around. There's a swimming pool in the yard. There's some beach sand, guys. So yeah, like Mchusi said, you'll find them on their socials. We'll show you a bit of the place around. You'll see some of the guests that are here.
Get the ambience.
Get the ambience as well. But don't forget to get online and book. The next time you come here, Rabo Guide,
Rantsho guest house.